Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to read first our motion for today. Motion 1. This House prefers a world where environmental policies are created by technocrats rather than politicians. I would like to break it down first and define it. This House, which means leads to a certain government, environmental, relating to the natural world and the impact of human activity on its condition. Policies are a course of principled action adopted or proposed by a government. Technocrats are people with lots of scientific and technical knowledge who are engineers who has an important position in a government party rather than, which means to indicate what you want or prefer to do. And at last, politicians, a person who is professionally involved in politics. What this motion means is that technocrats are preferred to create environmental policies rather than politicians. Policies such as efficient use of water and any type of energy, chemicals, pesticides, preventing pollution, acts of protection towards the environment, and so on. I, as the first speaker, would like to limit it by only environmental needs and impacts. I would like to introduce my argument as the informative theme. Technocrats should create environment policies rather than politicians. Ladies and gentlemen, first off, I'd like to state my argument in the society point of view. Secondly, the difference between a technocrat and a politician. And thirdly, why my argument works. Firstly, ladies and gentlemen, the environment and its problems have been clear sources of social activity and reflection. People in the society tend to expect drastic changes from the government, coming from the government. For example, climate activists took place in the United Kingdom, where protesters there are criminalized. Yet the government do respond positively to its people. For example, tree seedlings are planted by a local government to support the environment there and to support the people there who are farmers or maybe gardeners there, and the government applying policies that are environmental. For example, littering may cause you a fine, trash must be reused, recycled, and so on. Secondly, the difference between a technocrat and a politician in dealing with environmental problems. As far as I'm concerned, technocrats are scientific people, or let's say engineers that have went to college, which maximize their intelligence in their own stuff. Whereas politicians are politically active, especially in party politics. Let's call our next argument the technocratic approach, where technocrats focuses on the identifying and acting on the most efficient pathways to solve environmental problems without considering a social impact. They will likely to focus on how they can simplify this problem, how they can fix it, rather than focusing on how it will infect the people there and how the people will adapt to it. Let's say for the most heated problem as of right now, which is climate change. A technocratic or engineering type of person approach to solving climate change is based on the idea that any problem can be broken down into simpler ones and can be more efficient than before. In addition, the United States have predicted to deliver an awful amount of carbon dioxide. Well, for the technocrats in the United States, associates who are technocrats are are tend are expected to find a solution, which they already did. They found that alternating from gas-powered cars or fuel-powered, diesel-powered, to electric transportation will prevent such thing from happening. As for politicians, they tend to create policies that are society-friendly, which don't cost that much of a change, but can be easily accepted by the people. It's often in order to maintain their popularity and gain more trust by the people. They really want to gain more power in the government so they can have more influence, they can control more stuff in the house. They are looking to use the fear of climate change to get power and money, not to perfectly fix it. Your money, they actually claim that can control the chemical composition of the world and the temperature of atmosphere if you just pay them enough of your money. I know, right? It's a bunch of not really a not really a thing that they can promise. One of the worst scams ever pulled on the unsuspecting public. Thirdly, ladies and gentlemen, why my argument works. Why our technocrats are much better in dealing with this rather than politicians. What can they do but politicians cannot? Why engineers? Why are engineers who hold knowledge and skills related to how to move forward with the economy, not to mention investments in infrastructure and other necessary areas in order to maintain the environmental protection? Polit- Politics and government deal with very complex realities, which are very far from being objective. In making environmental policies, technocrats can achieve a larger impact. Policies created by them are focused on the outcome, how the environment will change, how can it be seen and felt differently than before, which is in a good way, of course. Politicians, however, are not expected to achieve such thing. They are more likely to gain popularity and more power, which they can do in such ways. They can make policies that are such friendly. They can make campaigns that they promise that we will fix it, but in reality, not every one of them will achieve that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Thank you so much.